Hello everyone, welcome to your daily card reading for January 23rd, 2015. I am still at my old house. I did not move, and I will be moving. I guess everything is going to happen either on the 24th or 25th. And I was going to do it at the other house anyway, because I was supposed to overlap the two houses, but the owner of the house, who it's a family, and the husband ended up having to go into the hospital, so they canceled all their tickets, and so they're not leaving for another probably week. We don't really know yet. So anyway, craziness. And this is all the Mercury retrograde on the new moon. They were talking about this phenomena that was going to happen, and I keep seeing it with, actually, there's a lot of other things going on where it's like almost happening and then totally going backwards and, retreating again and not happening. So anyway, but this is all supposed to be temporary, of course, because it's just Mercury retrograde, and then we'll have everything turning around here, well, I don't know, in time. So anyway, today I'm going to do 3 moving lines. So they're just moving in time, these 3 lines. And then I'm going to do a healing card for what's getting better and already changing. And another overall message card just to keep something in mind. The one thing you're supposed to remember when you walk away from the reading is the overall message card. So, but I will also draw an indicator card to ground the reading, and I'll get that from the Tree Magic. Now, I'm going to turn this off for the prayer and then turn it back on in 1 minute. And they're finished. Okay, 1 minute. A little bit. Okay. So, alright, so these are the moving lines here, just steps in time. And first we have a break in collective thinking and a change, like kind of a new pattern happening. Aurora has to do with people waking up to things going on around them. So, I mean, humanity is immersed with unconscious patterns. There's so many unconscious patterns that keep playing out, and nobody's looking at reality. Nobody's making sense of it. They're just playing these irrelevant patterns that have nothing to do with the actual situation. There's prejudice and prejudice and just kind of outmoded beliefs around just common things that happen in life, and people don't really know what's really going on. They just have habitual responses, and there's not really much understanding of what is what's truly going on. But as time goes on and things happen and play out, people learn and people start to wake up to this. So we have this people in society, kind of the masses, the general perspective is kind of awakening right now. There's kind of people waking up to things, or people seeing things that they hadn't seen before. This is about when things become visible. The cosmic light on Earth becomes visible, and we're able to see what we normally don't see. What is normally blocked out by our blinders or fuzzy vision, our blind spots. Now all of a sudden we can see it. So, and not just one person, but the way life is playing out, it's waking people up. It's calling people's attention, conscious attention, to a situation. So then we move into life, Ziwi, and this is the border of life and death, where we walk this fine line sometimes between life and death, and and to come back from this kind of the periphery of the circle, the boundary of life and death, where we don't fall off, we don't go into death, we end up, coming back into life, or vice versa. Zaiwi means life, but she stands on the edge of death, and so she's the one at the crossroads between life and death, and this is really being like walking that border of reality. And this can also, it doesn't necessarily have to do with physical illness or physical problems. This can also be relating to life and death of a situation, life and death of a relationship, life and death of a dream, anything that we would like our life to be, any part of our life that we would like. We're walking that line of life and death, and then there comes a turning point where either it heals and returns back to its original state, or it just falls off, and that's the transformation. It can go that way also. But because of the overall message card, I want to say that this has to do with life. This has to do with being stuck, and then also the returning again, the coming back to life. And I'm going to turn this off again for the second round of prayers here. Okay, and then we move from this returning to a restored condition. We restore a condition. We get final movement, the final returning, for the life that we're meant to live in this card. And then we get to the don't worry, because everything's meant to happen for a reason. This is Aisha, and this is about that we really don't have much control over our reality. We can only do everything we can with our limitations, our mental, emotional, physical limitations, and vice versa. Other people can only do as much as their physical, psychological, and emotional, and even spiritual limitations, and their reserves of resources. So people have their tools. Everybody has their level of desire and their aspirations, and then they have their limits, and they also have their resources and the things that they can draw on to make them to make things happen. But then, not just does one individual work in the world alone to make reality possible, but everybody contributes to it with their desires and their limitations and their resources. So basically, this is the don't worry card, because what is meant to happen is going to happen, and we really can't have control. We really can't have control over our life or anybody else's life. All we can do is aim and do our best to make it happen. And there's a sense that we have control because we can give it our all, and we can, we can, do all the extra work and really look at things and really figure out our way through, and, do everything we can. But the thing is we're always going to do that. If it's that meaningful to us, we're going to do that anyway. So, if we are determined to make it happen, we probably will, but that's because we're determined to make it happen, and that's within us. And then, with that determination, if for some reason we fall short, we can, whatever our position is, we can continue on and try and make it happen from there, or maybe take a break or whatever. But the thing is that we don't have to, worry about anything. We just have to focus and do our best and be conscious of of life as we move through it, life around us. Be conscious of all of the factors hidden. And this is, the hidden thing here, little baby. There's a lot of information that's hidden. That's what I want to say about this. And also with Aurora. It's hidden from others. It's becoming visible, but there's a lot of hidden information. But we do have this kind of collective push, this overall setup with society that we really, we can't battle the forces of collective humanity as much as as much as people can say we can have control over what's meant to be in our life. We really can't, because there's collective forces of humanity, and we can do our best to counter that, and we can really get a grip on what that means and do our best. But it might take a little bit of time, and that's okay. We just keep working towards our goals and working towards communicating truth and waking people up to reality, and living our lives authentically, I want to say, like living our lives authentically, make it clear where we're at with others in what we do. And so there is this collective shift or change in thinking here because of something already, and then there's a restoration of life, or it could be a total break and going off. But like I said, because of these other cards I haven't gotten to, I want to say that there's this restoration happening, and whatever was originally conceived is still in the process. There's just this waking up of information and light, vision, perspective is waking up here. And then there's this return to life, and then we can't sit there and be mad about things. We can't complain about who's doing what, who's limited, who has resources, who's able to have the power, who's able to be in control. We can't really sit there and argue about it. We really need to look at it and see what's going on and then deal with it, rather than getting upset about it. There's nothing but more confusion and wasted time will come out of getting upset about things. It's not about getting upset about things. It's about really looking at what's going on here, looking at all the fine details, and waking up to the light of the cosmos that is present here, and there's light from all over the universe, many universes, and it's all here. So we need to really see the dynamics, because there's a lot of hidden wisdom and light. So that's what that's what this card is talking about. So we can be successful, and this is the card of success. And the palm tree really is, so valuable and useful in so many different ways. But you have to know how to really make use of everything. You need to discover all the different ways to make use of this tree. And trees are kind of like, they're very mental, they're very thought-based trees. They're very much a mental energy, and the trees work with the wind, which is like the flow of mind. So this is like almost like a body of mind here that has to be understood in all of its parts, and then understand how all the parts are working, how all the parts can be used, or how all the parts function for the world around this mental energy. How is this mental energy working? What is this mental energy really doing? And what is it? What are all the parts of it? And then how is it working? And really looking at the details of that, because there's hidden treasures here. There's it's the tree of paradise, and there's wisdom in here, and very, very useful if we look at this with a clear mind, a clear head, and really listen and see and analyze and. Okay, sorry, the camera shut off there. I think I know where it cut off, but anyway, we look at things with a clear head and understand what we're looking at before we jump to any conclusions. So then we have the healing energy as the leader, the authentic leader, the one that can have the world swirling in chaos around them, and they calmly respond to things. They are able to really see people in their right space and the right relationship to others, and the reality. They can see everything really clear, or if they can't, they just remain calm and gather the information. But that's what Axis Mundi is all about, is being the point of calm, being centered. And so no matter how much chaos or drama or whatever is going on, whatever society is thinking or doing, it doesn't matter. There's this calm center that speaks much louder than words. Energy can speak much louder than words. If you just sit in your truth, that has a lot of weight. People can feel that and sense that. So, and also to be able to really see where people are at in their own space of calm and their own center, like really identifying everybody in the center of their own chaos. It's like to be able to look at the still point within people and watch all the chaos revolving around them, but yet still see the person within the center of it. And that's the pole on which the whole world turns, that the center, the strange attractor for all the chaos, the center that everything swirls around for each individual. And then, so that's healing here. And then the overall message is there is a imprisonment, a feeling of alone, a feeling of not getting, not having positive social dynamics, really struggling with society, and then feeling alone. But then there's this liberation in this move into this new life. So it's interesting, because it is almost, there is, I think, even with the restoration of life with Zaiwi, there's still, with a restoration of life, there's still things that end up dying with that restoration. So I almost want to say, even though there are some things moving back to the state of health and back into the life force, the life force is being regained, but there's relationships or things about what that life force was experiencing before that were, making it move towards that death, that have to be eliminated, and this person has to be liberated from those things to regain life, or to gain that life force that is desired, or that is essential for an individual. So we have this liberation. This is the Two of Fire. It's the dominion. It's the going through the struggles and then finally prevailing and getting into a new space, into a new dimension. So Artika Waindata had to focus on staying centered and calm and happy within the mess of things, and then she did get the life that she dreamed of. So we have that liberation coming, and then we have this special relationship also that is an overall message card, where two people, and this was the top one, so this was a hidden, again we have the hidden card. So there's this hidden imprisonment going on here. But the overall message card that I really drew, the one on top, was the Two of Hearts, which is love. That's sharing of the Two of Hearts. That's heart to heart. People who change each other forever. An influence in your life can remind you of who you are and make you stronger and return you back to yourself even. Sometimes people wake you up to your life and wake you up to yourself. And so this is an awakening through another person. This is what love will do. Love will awaken people. And so there's this, and with this card, the Two of Hearts, it's really a momentary, or not momentary, but a powerful moment between people that shifts things forever. So it's a pivotal point with the Two of Hearts, where it's like a defining event or a defining interaction or a defining birth of a relationship. This, and it is definitely not death of a relationship with this love card. There could be relationships that die around it, but really, with this type of love card, if relationships do die around this type of love, they're very silent death, and it's a very a calm, peaceful letting go of people, because this is so joyous and wonderful and powerful and strong that really it involves all the energy. The energy can't go towards a bad relationship on the side. The bad relationship on the side falls to the wayside, because this is a really powerful two people coming together and changing each other forever. So overall, we have success, obviously, but there are hidden things that we need to. This is Magdalena. There are hidden things that are coming to light for people. There's stuff going on. There's things changing. Things being restored. Things being set in the formation that they need to be. So there's a shift and a change in lifestyle for life to restore itself, for life to come from the edge of death back into a state of living. When this life force regenerates itself, then there's just kind of a shedding of things that were not working for the structure. Whatever was taking away really needs to be shed, and there's this restructuring going on here. And then the don't worry, and just really understanding that things happen the way they happen because of all of the hidden dimensions, all of the hidden parts of it, all of the hidden parts of the story. We really can't see much of each other's lives. We're always, even if we think we know everything about people, there's so many holes of our perception. So we have to just always take that into account, that we can never see it all. There's always the holes, there's always the surprises, there's always the new worlds to be seen and to be known. So just be the scientist, where you do not hold a preconception. You have to have that blank slate of a mind to really see what's going on. You can't assume the outcome of the experiment before the experiment, or that's an example of being a scientist. But you can't, when you're observing things, you just can't sit there and make assumptions. You really have to observe them, because otherwise you'll mess up your whole understand that you're no longer doing science anymore. You're off in your own reality, So it's really looking at the facts, really looking at what you can see, and looking at what you can't see, and putting them together, and knowing the limitations of the vision, and seeking the information, without judgment, without your subjective nature. You know, just really looking at things for what you can see and what you can't see, and then come up with where, you know, what you can understand from this point, and then, you know, you dig for more information, but you can't just fill in all the holes without knowing. So and then we have this restoration again of order too, because Axis Mundi is really about, if this is healing, you know, this is a leader in healing. If a leader is in healing, and the relationship, what a leader is a relationship to society that stands on the forefront of integrity and intelligence, and social intelligence, emotional intelligence. You know, a leader is one who you know, lives out the integrity. They have the most integrity in their actions, in their in the way that they interact with others. So this is healing, and so this means this person in relation to society, the legitimate, real relations between people are healing, and you know, the humility is healing, and the authentic leadership within all people is healing. And then we have you know, this liberation, this imprisonment that is being felt right now and being liberated as the overall message, to keep that in mind. And also this, you know, a person who really does change your life forever in some way. They change your mind forever. They change your personality. They change your feeling forever. And at least sometimes you might fall out of that, you know, but you can go back to the memory that has been formed by this event or by this interaction, and stay in that peace forever. It's like this peaceful love that is unconditional and accepting, and you know, brings out the spirit within another person, that, you know, just the memory can be medicine for forever, and then you can invoke that energy back into your life at any time. You know that this is you. You know this is you know, who you can be at any time from your interaction with this other individual. So anyway, again, it says the tree of paradise bears the fruit of eternal wisdom and light. So the fruit of eternal wisdom and light is hidden, so difficult to find. So we really want to put our scientific method hat on, where we seek all the information of the situation. We're really going to be keen with our observations and alert and attentive to the situation, without assuming, without you know, putting in blind, you know, filling in blanks, putting in blind statements where we're blind. You know, we really want to be that scientist and uncover the hidden holes of the picture, and find the wisdom and the light. Know that we don't know it, and unless we know it, and we know it, we don't know it. So we gotta, you know, leave that space for seeking that information. We don't want to fill in blanks or jump to conclusions or assume things. So we want to find, and if we do that, then we do find the eternal wisdom, and we do find the eternal light. If we are patient enough to really, you know, have that observation, that scientific method observation hat on, you know, where we really make sure we see what we're looking at here, and only go off true information. So anyway, I hope everybody got what they needed out of this today, and I will see you again tomorrow. I will probably take like 3 days off, but I think it's probably going to be like on either starting on the 24th or on the 25th. I'm not sure yet, so we'll wait to see how this all goes. So take care, and I will see you again tomorrow. Thanks for watching.